All right, you guys, this next man is an absolute legend. I don't even need to go over his resume. If you don't know, then you better do your Googles. I'm talking about the one and only world famous Kid Capri.
What up, what up, what up? Good, fam.
How you doing, kid?
Doing great, brother. Everything is great, man. Blessed and happy.
That's great to hear, man. So, what was it like for you growing up biracial in the Bronx as a kid?
I never had no issue. It was black. Black and half of Sicilian Italian, which is black within itself. But I never had I've never been no racist thing. I always been looked at as black. You know what I'm saying? Even my mother that's Sicilian, she was looked at as black. My father's a big black man. You know, it is what it is. But I never went through that type of thing. It was never nothing.
People thought you were Puerto Rican, though, right?
For years and years and years, they still probably think that.
No, I do. I know some people that were like, yo, isn't Kid Capri Puerto Rican? They just said that like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But you didn't face any like racism even within your extended family or anything?
Mm-mm. My family's black. My mother's Sicilian Italian, half Sicilian. Well, she's Sicilian, but Italians, Sicilian people are half black because of the Mormons. So that's their history.
Right.
So, besides that, you have a big black daddy. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I never really claimed the Italian side, even though I do to an extent. But I didn't grow up with an Italian family. We're a black family. That was it.
So in the household, how would you say like the household was? Was it very traditional as a family?
Yeah, regular. Nothing different. Mother, father, son.
What did your parents do for work growing up?
My father was a soul singer. My mother always been a nurse.
And you're growing up in a real interesting time because the 70s, the Vietnam War had ended and dope is becoming a real issue, right? This is around the time of hip hop, and then we have the crack era in the 80s. Take us through what the Bronx was like at that time as a child walking the streets.
Well, I wasn't on that side of the Bronx. I was on the good side of the Bronx. I was in Kingsbridge. So, what was going on in the Bronx at that time, back then, it was, I was too young at that time to go hang out. But when I did start hanging out over there, I seen a lot of different things. But that was past the crack era. The crack era was crazy. Buildings burnt down. A lot of different people living in the street. It was just crazy. But you go to one block. There was one block called Felon Avenue in the Bronx, where you drive in the block and you see all these people, man, all these crackheads looking like zombies walking through the block. It was a 2 block. It was as long as 2 blocks. That's as far as it went. But in that 2 blocks, you're seeing people looking like monsters and zombies looking for the next hit. It was just a bad epidemic at that time. I mean, people that I was cool with, that was fly people, that had bread and everything. That shit got to them, and one of them ended up stealing from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this was one of the flyest dudes on the block. It was just tearing people up at that time, man. But fortunately, the ones that were strong got out of it, never dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? And just did other things, But it was definitely a bad time at that time.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because like some of the finest chicks, they got involved in it. You've seen them get turned out, everything,
Absolutely.
Right?
I knew something I went to school with that was bad chicks that ended up happening too. And next thing you know, it was skinny, looking crazy, stealing from people. Yeah, it was wild.
And you were selling on that block your mixtapes at that time. Did you face like any risk of like being robbed or anything?
Well, you always face risk of being robbed or being, something happening. But, I was so respected in the street, and I always carried myself a certain kind of way. So I didn't have those issues. Never once.